Lists, tuples, sets, and dictionaries are all arrays. Yes, they're arrays, but what defines an array in the general term, not a specific term? Well, that's what we're going to learn in this episode. So, an array is a special variable which can contain multiple values, unlike simple variables which only contain one value. They are further split up into smaller subgroups. These subgroups are lists, tuples, sets, and dictionaries. So, in order to explore what arrays are, we first have to make a new file, like what we do always. Save it. Alright, now we've got it. Now let's start typing. First, we're going to start with a list. This is what a list looks like. Hold on. Create a variable called li. Or license, of course. I'm not sure. You could just type list. Something like that. List. Okay, let's just call it li. That should work for now. Then brackets. Then we're going to add here Ford. Hold on. BMW. Ferrari. Okay, so that is what a list is. Now let's go to a tuple. Type T and U, assign that to parentheses, and then basically type the same thing. In order to do that, we just have to copy paste this. Bam. Save for set. SE. That was curly braces. And then for dictionaries, D, you just do something like this. You do that, but a dictionary is much, much harder. It's much harder to type. So in order to save time, we're just gonna do this. Car1. R1 equals Ford. Car2 equals BMW. Hold on. This is Ferrari. Dictionaries don't have to be like this. You can even do this. Okay, we've got that down. The next thing we got to do is that we're going to have to both print out their contents and what their type is. So we're just basically gonna do this. Print types and results. Types and contents. Do this. Or you could just simply print like this. All right, now let's start. 4. Then we're gonna print again. Lists. For V in LI. Print V. Oh wait, we also have to do this. Hold on. LI. Next. Then we're gonna print the tuple. The W in TU. Then what we're going to do next is do this. Now we just have to print W again. Then print type W. Whoops. This one. Now what we're going to do next is that we're going to do the same thing over and over again. So in order to shorten that, we're just going to edit. Hold on. In order to fix that, we're just going to do this. In SE X SE. Then finally we're going to do the last one, and that is BAM, and that is dictionaries. Dictionaries. Y and then this is going to be DI. Finally, you've got that. So now we're going to run it. And what do we get? Alright, so we've got this. So what we're going to do is that we're just going to run it again. We've got lists. This is a list, this is a tuple, this is a set, that's a dictionary. Alright. Next thing we're going to do is that we're going to figure out what are the types of stuff we can do with arrays. So open a new file, and then since I already have the code I'm already going to paste, you can type this out. And that was wrong. Anyway, the next thing we can do is that we can append, we can do all sorts of stuff with lists. So let's go to make a list again. Make a list called funcs. Dot append. Dot insert. Dot pop. Dot remove. Okay, so these are just a few examples. There are a lot more out here, but there's also a sort. So with this, we can do all sorts of stuff here. However, to cut the time, you can play with them, and then we can simply just, you can end the video after I print out this list here. Print functions. Hold on. Then we're just going to for loop this for z in funcs. Print z. Alright, you pretty much know what's gonna happen. Yeah, I knew that. Only problem. The big problem? There's something wrong. Guess what it is? It's this. You see the sort and the remove? Yeah, I made a mistake there. Much better. Hold on, we're just going to erase this and then let's check again. Okay, we've got it. So that is the end for our video, and we will be closing this in a bang. And that is, we're just going to delete all of this. However, since you've probably already typed it and already saved it, you can pretty much save, then you can delete, then you can shut down your VS Code. Alright, that's gonna be it.